First of all, first few disclaimers. I had few doubts just from yesterday evening. I was trying to spend a lot of time here to understand, to observe and everything. I was thinking one thing like TPO's capacity development program, but everybody is asking to develop the capacity of students. But nobody spoke about the capacity development of a training and placement officer. Because sometimes when there's a difference between, I just wanted to highlight that. Everyone says, you have to make your students train something else. So how selfless training and placement officers are, they're not thinking about themselves, but they're only thinking about the students of their colleges. First, give a big round of applause to each one of you here. So before the panel discussion, first I wanted to have few I've jot down points from all Avinash and Yudhishthir, Lavanam Garu and everyone's topics. I jot down few points like first, I want to talk about how important it is to brand an individual here. Because these are all mass recruiters and the big recruiters, but I represent a startup community. I'm not a motivational speaker. I write myself as a demotivational speaker because we represent startups. I work out of T-Hub and I have a team of 41 people. And when we hire people, a lot of people, college placement officers, they keep coming to T-Hub. I keep telling them, encourage a lot of students. I know, okay, fine. Startups always don't get much respect. That's often with the placement officers too. But startups always hire more people in any capacity. Today, even in recession or whatever it is, startups don't have recession because any recession gives an opportunity for a lot of startups to grow. And these are the times when colleges should focus on the micro companies and the smaller companies where you can go and approach where they are ready to give a lot of people as internships. Because startups don't have L&Ds. They always take people as interns on a pre-placement offer, and there are better packages. I see a couple of people in Hyderabad, we initiated a company called Catalog. How many people in their colleges had a placement drives in Catalog? I see Vijaya ma'am here from CVR. Catalog has visited their college. It's a blockchain company which is paying 7.5 lakh rupees salary. Am I right? 7.5? 7.5. The reason I'm mentioning this company, it's a startup which went to CBIT, which went to CVR, which went to VNRs, which went to different colleges these days because we encourage them to go to college. I was giving all the contacts of different, because being a startup, being a student community which has 1 million students, we worked with them and we gave talents from different colleges. The first talent came from a college called ISL Engineering College. It's a minority college in Chandrayan Gutta where it doesn't have any recognition. But there is one student called Shoaib who is hardcore blockchain guy. Because in COVID, he was a self-learner. He didn't have any other thing because he didn't go to college, he learned a lot of things from online. If he had regular studies, he would not have learned. And that guy is getting 12 lakhs per annum now, out of college. So there are a lot of opportunities. We feel that smaller startups don't pay. They pay more, but they want to try and pay you. And this Catalog went to VNR college, interviewed 400 people, didn't select anyone. In CVR, they selected 2 to 3 people, I guess. 2 people out of 300 to 400. So the kind of hiring they are doing, because startups are building these pools now, and these are the great pools which will get you the higher pays. One thing which we are doing from Student Tribe, the renamed brand of StuMax, we are trying to create honest communities for the supply which is less. Because demand will be more if the supply is less. This we understood, we all learned this when we were young. The first basic thing is like create a smaller communities for cybersecurity in your college. Create a micro community for data annotation engineer. There's a new role which is done by Facebook to avoid lot of crap data. They created a program called data annotation engineers. These micro communities and no code community, there's a very big thing. There's a company called the Zero Code Foundation. I was with, how many of you heard a name called Notion? Notion? 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a very biggest competitor to Microsoft Word. And Notion AI is going to rule the world. The CTO of Notion is Tony Zhao. He's a Chinese born in US. He was there in Hyderabad recently. Without any coding, you can build a website in 1 hour. Without any coding, it's a no-code platform. And a lot of people's life runs on Notion. An average Notion engineer gets paid 12 lakhs per annum. Average. In their company, there is no one less than 12 in India. But these are the companies which you create micro communities. So first thing, I wanted to talk about 3 points and we'll wind it up because in the interest of time. I wanted to give a suggestion like every training and placement officer, I personally feel today we need specialists for the specialist role. How can we rename or rebrand it into a CXO position in colleges? Why can't we call him as a chief employment officer, chief relationship officer? When you call him as a CEO or a CRO or any CXO, the self-respect of a training officer will go up. This is the first suggestion which I wanted to put before, because it's a consortium which can go to the managements and the engineering college associations to ask them. Because there are 2 ways to tell few things. 1, ask respect. 2, command respect. We always ask respect. We should command respect. We should not ask for a respect. How can we make a Venkatrao Garu a CEO of GVP? Chief Employment Officer, Chief Relationship Officer. Why can't we call the relation? Because when someone approaches from the industry, they see the role as a CXO, there's an importance to talk to. Second, I wanted to formally tell to the consortium, I'm happy to take a session on how to build a LinkedIn profile. The basic factor that today a lot of corporate relations guys from the colleges don't maintain their LinkedIn profiles. I'm not trying to be preachy here. I wanted to really mean what is capacity development. There should be one delta difference. It cannot be the numbers. Sir, startups might not be the mass numbers, sir. But we are like, there's a mass movie. There's a mass movie which will have a great opening. But startups are like Anand, which will not have opening. But once the movie is great, people start coming into it. There is a Salesforce, there is a Darwin box. But people don't know that Salesforce has invested in Darwin box. And Darwin box pays 12 lakhs per annum plus 3 lakhs compensation and 15. And Darwin box was founded by IITians but run by AP and Telangana engineering college students. They never hire an engineer from IIT because the founder, CTO himself tells, my fellow person from an IIT, if I hire, he will start another company in 3 months. Darwin box was built into a unicorn completely from Hyderabad, only on Telangana and Andhra engineering colleges only. And they pay 12 lakhs per annum. But how do they pay? They take a final year student and pay a 25,000 stipend as a pre-placement offer first. So encourage students to take up internship in the final year as a PPO. Internship, students should get paid for an internship. Students should not pay for an internship. The word internship is also polluted. People should not pay for internships. People should get paid for internships. Unfortunately, someone in Delhi creates a rule that everyone should do internships, and suddenly the project institute becomes an internship institute. And he just rechanges the name called project to internship. And please come to startup incubators where there are a lot of companies. I'm telling you on the stage, nobody offered anything, but today I wanted to offer 40 roles in an AI company. 40 roles in an AI company. Whoever wants to grab it, I'll arrange interviews for your students. And these are the AI roles where there's a company called AtomAX, which is building Mid-Journey. There's a company called Mid-Journey AI, where you type a prompt, the image is generated. For that, they require AI engineers, and they're ready to hire interns, and they'll pay more, 4.8 and kind of a thing. But you need people who know basics of that. AP itself, Andhra Pradesh kanna admissions placements, colleges lala, AP ante. The 2 things which are very important for any college is an admission and a placement. Madhyalo emaitado evadu pattichukodu. But placement అనే word కూడా we have to redefine it, because sometimes I feel there is a self-learning mechanism, Salesforce training programs, they're all self-learning. Placement అనే word కూడా, if you understand from an English point of view, if there is no life in something, you place something at some place. I place a bottle, I place the bench. ప్లేస్ అంటే జీవం లేని దాన్ని ప్లేస్ చేసేదానికి, జీతం కోసం కాదు జీవితం కోసం తయారు చేయాలి మన స్టూడెంట్స్ని. డోంట్ ప్లేస్ ఎనీవన్ బికాస్ హీ హ్యాస్ టు గో అండ్ గెట్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్ ప్లేస్డ్ సమ్వేర్. సో హౌ వీ బికమ్ ఎనేబులర్స్, నాట్ ప్లేసర్స్. If he doesn't have a talent, nobody can place him. So we have to be the enabler so that we can enable him to place himself. And the other last 2 points, small college and big college. This is another biggest pain point in a lot of people. They say it's a branded college, it's a non-branded college and stuff. Companies never care about which college you graduate from. If he has a talent, he has to be absorbed. And I appreciate all the placement officers who are working with the younger colleges too, because that's a real challenge. We should appreciate all the placement officers who are working in younger colleges which are less than 10 years and 5 years, because that's a real challenge. They don't carry any brand, because they don't have alumni, they don't have a great story, they don't have anything. Such placement officers, I invite you guys, please hire. If you have a bunch of 5 students, 10 students, make them role models in the college. Don't treat them like any other students. Don't give common trainings to everyone. Identify those 5-10 people in your smaller college, because let's say if you hit a stone in GVP, he will be a good developer. But if you go to a tier 2, tier 3 college, don't make them sit with everyone. Separate those 10 kids, 15 kids. All the junior starts aspiring, I have to be in that super 30, I have to be in that super 20. That 15-20 people are the rock stars, where those people become role models for all the juniors. And these people, no need of any branded companies, they themselves are brands. And they can get a lot of income, respect for the college. And the last thing, we started doing interns mailers from student tribe, and last 3 months we helped 843 people get internships. Physical interns mailer where we brought all startups on one platform. And you'll be surprised, these are the people, if you work in a startup as an intern, it's okay for a student. Not because family doesn't approve someone getting into a startup easily. I got my first job and only job was Infosys. Yesterday I was telling Sudhir Saab, because Tanvir Singh hired me in the night, 12 o'clock, he interviewed me in 2009. I still remember Tanvir ji, like when he interviewed, he asked me, why did you apply for Infosys? I said, this is the only company which didn't ask coding. Because they teach everything. They can make an electrical guy work on a Java project for a US banking client. They can do anything to anyone. But the point here is, today, lot of people are self-learned. Startups, they can't hire people even if they can't talk English also. Startups, there are CTOs, ఇది మళ్ళా విలువాలి దీన్ని, అందుకే దాన్ని పబ్లిక్లో పెట్టు, ఇది మళ్ళీ విలువాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, దీన్ని ప్రైవేట్లో పెట్టు అంటాడు వాడు. నేను చెప్పిన యాక్సెస్ స్పెసిఫైర్స్. There is no need of a language in a startup sometimes, because he doesn't interact with the client also. దట్ హార్డ్ కోర్ కోడర్, వానికి ఇంగ్లీష్ రాదని వాడిని అవమానించకండి. వాడిని ఏం చేయండి అంటే, కొంచెం స్టార్టప్లో ఒక చిన్న కోడింగ్ కంపెనీలో పెడితే హీల్ గెట్ 5 to 10 lakhs ప్యాకేజ్ ఈజీలీ. నో నీడ్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ, లైక్ హీ సెడ్. అండ్ ద అదర్ పాయింట్ విచ్ ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు ఫినిష్ ఇట్ ఆఫ్ వాజ్, ప్లీజ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అండ్ లిటరసీ. Digitally literate, everybody is digitally literate. If they know how to create a reel on Instagram, they know that they are digitally literate. They know how to use it. Education is different, literacy is different. Today there is no need of digital literacy to anyone. All are digitally literate from school because they have been using mobile phones. I started feeling old when I met recently one student in engineering college who is 2004 born or 2005 born. Because they already saw, they are born into families with the smartphones. And English has been there. English communication is different. Communication skill is different. There's a thin line, no, there's a thick line. English communication is different, communication is different. People say communication skills అంటే మేము ఇంగ్లీష్ పెట్టేసినామని. ఎందుకంటే నాకు I still remember, I started my career, I see a lot of Dinakar garu, Surendra garu and everyone. I resigned Infosys and I started as a training. Before starting a startup, I spent 1 year in college. Someone said soft skills అంటే ఏంటి అంటే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ కావాల్సిన స్కిల్స్ అన్నాడు. సాఫ్ట్ స్కిల్స్ అంటే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్కి కావాల్సిన స్కిల్స్ని సాఫ్ట్ స్కిల్స్ అన్నారంట. దాన్ని ఏమంటాం ఇంకా దాని తర్వాత? సో మనందరికీ కెపాసిటీ ఉంది. ఆ కెపాసిటీని బిల్డ్ చేయడానికి, బికాజ్ మా నాన్నగారు ఒక టీచర్ అండి. ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ బిఫోర్ ద అకాడమిక్ ఇయర్ స్టార్ట్ దే హ్యావ్ ట్రైనింగ్. సో వన్ ఫైన్ డే ఆఫ్టర్ యూ బికమ్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ యూ హ్యావ్ రిలేటివ్స్. So they invite you as a speaker. And once you are a speaker, you have to talk. Then I said, like, first line, my father is attending this every year training from last 35 years. Now he's about to retire. Still he is attending the training that year. How to become a better teacher. Because we are all constant learners, as Marti Babu garu yesterday mentioned. When we are all constant learners and we remove the L, we are earners. Because we are all creating earners. We are creating people who earn the bread for their family. And we all should be proud about it. And I request everyone to have self-respect. And we are creating leaders and training and placement officers. In my dream, they should become the chief relationship officers, chief employment officers, and create a kind of an institution when you create that barrier. So that in 2030, still we don't talk about bridge between the industry and academia, because we always spoke about the bridge which was never built, because the bridge didn't exist, because we should make both as one. Thank you for this opportunity.